So, Namaskar, Father. Thank you.
Swamiji, in one of the articles written by His Grace Dr. Paulos Mar Gregorios, especially on March 12, 1993,
Oh,
he states that Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda as the symphonic twin,
mm,
as they were mutually complementary to each
each
other.
other.
So, what makes their legacy unique?
Yes, you see, together they have kind of greatly changed religious beliefs, etc., of India, you can say, particularly with regard to Hinduism. See, although the ancient idea Ekam Sad Vipra Baudha Vadanti is there very much in the scriptures, Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda gave a wonderful practical approach dimension to this. So, in fact, after Swami Vivekananda only, the interfaith dialogue has become a very major item in discussions. And also, Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda were quite complementary in the sense that Sri Ramakrishna was extremely reticent, withdrawn, deeply contemplative, hardly exposed to any public life in that sense, excepting the close devotees who used to come and meet him. But Swami Vivekananda was, although deeply meditative himself, yet he could interact, meet people, talk to them, spread the message. So whatever Sri Ramakrishna lived and practiced, Swami Vivekananda preached by way of message. And together they have greatly, in fact, changed the religious contours of India in the sense that previously, according to the Hindu tradition, to reach the highest knowledge, one has to completely give up karma or work. But Swami Vivekananda said that, did not really say about that. He said that one has to work intensely, and then slowly at one point of time, work will drop off by itself. So they have made a very significant major contribution to the religious beliefs and things like that.
Swamiji, Mar Gregorius in his book Religion and Dialogue, he provides us with some ground rules for a harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Inspired from the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Swami Vivekananda, he rightfully calls the punch shield for religions, which includes mutual respect, non discrimination, dialogue, resolution of conflicts by peaceful means, and cooperation in the service of humanity. What is your personal understanding with regard to the idea?
Yes, see, these are all very necessary, no doubt. These are all the ways of really living peacefully and together. Peaceful coexistence is rightly put it. But underlying all that is a basic acceptance. See, if I don't accept you at all, there's no question of any dialogue or any resolving the conflicts and things like that. So, all these would work provided there is a basic acceptance of the other faith as equally valid and meaningful. That's why it is not toleration but acceptance. So if I accept a Christian faith as a very valid means of redemption or reaching the goal or truth or whatever it is, then all these are add-ons to that. With basic that structure, all these superstructure can be built. But underlying all that is that idea that every faith is equally meaningful and purposeful and equally valid. That idea.
No inferior or superior.
Yeah.
Swamiji, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa experienced, understood, and taught that the religious plurality and the diversity of India. He taught about that. Can you please explain the above statement?
Yeah, you see, Sri Ramakrishna was not a scholar in the classical term because he never went to school. He could hardly just write his name at best. So he had never studied anything. He was totally unaware of any philosophy as such. But he talked about the profoundest truths always. because his conversations will be collected and published in the form of a book. You'll be amazed by the depth of his knowledge. A person who has never gone to school, who has never been exposed to any philosophy. So whatever he said was entirely based on his experience. So that way, he really practiced these faiths. Apart from, see, Hinduism itself has many dimensions, many different sects. So he has practically gone through all the major sects of Hinduism, so to say, literally practiced and reached the goal according to each faith. Whatever goal was prescribed by each sect, he had reached that. Then he had a very profound experience about Christianity, where he saw that he had a vision of Christ and Madonna. He was in that state for 3 days. He could not go even to Kali temple at that time. He had completely give up image worship and all that. Then at the end of the third day, he had a literally vision of Christ, and that personality merged in him. That was his vision. So then, in fact, there he also talks about Aquiline nose of Christ, which is in one of the biographies. The normal thing is a long,
Yes.
but he said a little differently, and that is substantiated in one of the biographies, the Christ of Christ. So through that, he really realized that that is also a form of seeking the highest truths. So that is what he preached. Similarly, he heard about Islam. He had never visited any mosque or anything. When Sufi practitioner came and initiated him into Sufi methodology, and he had a Brahmin cook that type of food for him. Again, he would not go to Kali temple during that time. There are also three. Normally, because that's what he says. See, once you are established deeply in truth according to one method, other things you can just like that achieve, because they all represent the same idea in different forms according to the capacities of the believers. So he says it's very easy. That is why subsequently all his practices was only for 2 days, 3 days, when he would really go to that state. And the point is, anyone can claim, but afterwards, what is the life you lead? That is important, na? So that way he demonstrated whatever he spoke was out of his own personal experience, and they were all very profound and of a very high order.
Swamiji, is dialogue between spiritual and secular a relevant point in today's era? How can the present and future generations benefit from it?
Yeah, you see, the the Indian idea or the Hindu ideas was always an integral life. Sacred and spiritual were never separated like that. Unless you know how to integrate them, you'll be leaving out a majority of people. See, people are largely struggling for the existential aspects of life. So you cannot talk to them about a deep religion and all that. But if in the way the culture, the society lives and develops and all that, if all these can be integrated from a very young age, then it is possible, because you see, all religions talk about charity, love, compassion for fellow beings. All this can be inculcated even from a very young age, so that those who follow the secular way of life also adapt all these principles, and slowly at one point of time each person would feel the need for a more deeper religious or spiritual life, and then they can go deeper into that. But essentially, even to start with from a young age, if all these are all built into our family traditions, culture, behavior, etc., then it is possible there can be a integration. Otherwise, religious people talk one language, secular people talk totally different language. They say we don't have any belief in all that, then it's leading us nowhere. So if the future generation has to, because you see, ultimately all the aspects of society, like sharing and caring and so many other aspects, are all very much dependent upon the how people are shaped and how they are trained, what is the samskaras they get. All these normally they get only from religion. So religion and the society can never be apart like that. So they have to really take this into account.
Swamiji, how can monks or sannyasis help the world to make it a better place for the humanity to exist.
Yes.
Should they be limited to
No, no, no.
ashrams or orders?
Yeah, see, actually, that is what Swami Vivekananda did. Is another singular contribution. Previously, the idea of a great religious or spiritual life was to go away from the society, be apart from all that, not participate in anything. That was the idea. Completely changed it. That's why he set up the Ramakrishna mission. Nobody could understand at the time. People virtually revolted. What are you saying? This is not spiritual life. Then he said, no. Ramakrishna mission is set up for the idea Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitayacha, for the spiritual evolution of the individual and for the welfare of the world. He was very emphatic that unless you serve people, unless you serve humanity, you cannot think of your own spiritual well-being. It's impossible. So service is an integral part of the Ramakrishna mission. So we have, lakhs of students studying in our institutions. Crores of people are treated every year. We are in every situation where there is any natural calamity, etc. So we live in the really amidst a society. Many people sometimes they don't even understand when they come. I'm so busy. They think that what is this? Swami is like that, but that is how our life is constructed, and that's what he said. Because you see, why he said was he toured the entire length and breadth of the country, India, for about 6 years, from 1886 to 92. Whole country he covered virtually on foot. He saw that, he was appalled by the poverty and illiteracy, etc. He said, there's so much need for such philanthropic work. Who can lead it? He said, only those who have nothing personal to gain. That's why he put monks at the helm of affairs. So because they have nothing, they don't need anything personal, they are in a best position to serve and they should show the way. He said that it should be a combination, because how many are the monks that way? The householders, those who live in the world, should support them and be with them. But he gave a greater responsibility to monks because he said that you have no personal thing. Why don't you serve the society? That's the best way. So that is how he said that we should all be part of such an effort.
For Swami Vivekananda, Jesus Christ can be best understood within the framework of Vedanta or Jesus Christ as a Vedantin. Kindly help us understand this thought.
Yes, you see, Vedanta is so all encompassing. Everything can be understood in the terms or in the understanding of Vedanta, because Vedanta talks of oneness ultimately. Vedanta does not make any difference between you and me. Whatever path you may follow, at the ultimate, it talks of one unitary consciousness, oneness, etc. Very high ideal. At the same time, there are other schools. Vedanta is not only Advaita Vedanta. There are other Vedantas, the Dvaita Vedanta, dual system, where we accept gods and goddesses. We accept God descending on earth as a human. So in that sense, for us, that's why we celebrate Christmas Eve in such a grand fashion every year in our temple.
Okay.
In our temple, we do it.
Okay.
In our main temple, we arrange Christ and Madonna, we light a candle, the Archbishop of Delhi comes, other fathers come. What is the idea? We feel that he is also a descendant of God. The only difference between Christianity and us is Christianity says he is the only son of God. We say that no, God can have any number of sons. So we believe in many avatars. So in that sense, Christ is also a representative or a descendant or a son of God. We truly believe it. So obviously, see, ultimately, our belief, etc., should be based on our understanding of the life and message of the personality. He may be anything, call him anything, but if he leads a great life, and Jesus led an extraordinary life of sacrifice, he gave his very life for humanity, obviously he is worthy of the highest respect and worship. So, he said, if Christ were to be alive, I would wash his feet with my heart's blood. That's what he said about Christ. So, we don't have any problem at all. We accept all as valid paths.
Swamiji, according to you, what are the ways through which these religions can be healed?
Yeah, see, actually, religions don't need any healing. The followers. And followers also, when they are subject to persecution, when they are subject to ill treatment, and there are violence, communal disarmament, so that needs to be healed, obviously. So again, for the healing, the basic thing is that liberal heart, where we accept that. I was just talking to some Muslim leaders also today. They are from the Ahmadiyya, which the traditional Muslims don't accept. I said, see, all of us, whether it's a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, we all believe in ultimate God, a superior power. And the names are different. Now, according to all of us, he is endowed with extraordinary powers, capacity. He can redeem mankind. So, why should somebody worry? It is not your duty. Supposing I go in the wrong path, that powerful God, whomsoever you call it, He will correct it. He will help us. Why should you take upon the responsibility? No, I am going to correct him and indulge in any violence and this and that. So there is no room for religious disharmony at all. See, if I believe that Allah is the only creator, all are Allah's children, fine. But some of Allah's children are wallowing in mud. Allah will save them. It's not your business. If you accept that, no disharmony at all. So essentially, the belief that everyone should wend their way, find out, live a life based on great values, great truths, pursuit of something deeply abiding, spiritual and transcendental, that is the goal of life. If people accept that, rather than trying to correct someone else, I will mind my life, my path, my business. That's it. See, people, those who fight, those who create all that, they are not interested in their own spiritual life. They are busy only doing all that. Where is the time? Your life is limited, short. We are talking, this very moment I can drop dead. So every moment of your life is to be spent in a higher pursuit. If you understand that, there is no scope for disharmony at all. Very unfortunate, but this is the truth. For example, even I am saying, for them, this conversion, etc. Still absolutely unnecessary, leading to communal disharmony. See, if anyone, let them follow any path. You live a life. People should come attracted by your life, not by labeling. Say today you label all of India as Christians or Hindus or what. What does it matter? What is that label's worth? Tell me. Is it worth anything? If you label me as a Christian, I should live like a true follower of Christ. Otherwise, I am not a Christian. Whatever label I might have, I may have a Hindu label. I am not a Hindu unless I live that life. So, what is the way? You have to live a life. You have to set an example. People will follow you seeing your life. Christ never went and told Jews, you all follow me. His very life was that people felt so attracted, they gave up everything and a huge majority followed him. Is it not? That should be the way. Somehow people have wrongly understood and they say that, oh, you come to our faith, you did, this is the only way. These are all leading to disharmony. People should be left to their choice. No need for any conversion. You live a life. If one person lives a great life, under him a wonderful circle will develop. Circle of sincere followers. See, we need to create sincere practitioners. Religion has become just only, by some belief, some doctrine, some philosophy, some reading this. No, that is not religion. Religion is realization. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. Religion is realization, anubhuti. So how do you get realization? Not by frothy talk or spending some 15 minutes in a church or a temple. No. You have to devote time. It's a life's pursuit.
Swamiji, how can the youngsters be motivated and inspired to take up the call of unity and oneness of Swami Vivekananda?
Yes. You see, youngsters, unfortunately, the young people all over the world are so much, they are digressing. There's so much of social media, these, that, day and night. No, what is the result? Crime is increasing. Family disharmony is absolutely, is a everyday matter now. So, somehow, in some form or other, young people who are intelligent, capable, we need to enter into dialogue with them, talk to them, go to colleges, universities, talk to them, tell them the need for a more refined life devoted to higher pursuit. It's happening, one of our monks from America is extremely popular. 2 days back, he gave a talk in one of our big institutions in Calcutta, the Institute of Culture. It's a very famous institution. A big hall is there with 1500 capacity. 1 hour before it was full. And finally, another 1500 are waiting. So here, there, wherever possible, they accommodated. Even on the stage, 50 people had to sit. And more than 50% of the population were people below 40. So, if you talk really that way, if you really convey the message, and much more than that, what is necessary is life. Unless you live the life, people will come, they will appreciate, they will hear, forget. Nothing, no use.
Swamiji, what is the vision of Swami Vivekananda on ecology and its sacredness?
Yeah, you see, the point is essentially those days, this problem of pollution and then environmental issues were not there at all. World was thinly populated, but he was a great lover of nature. And such situations would take him into a rapturous transcendental state, so to say. So he was a great lover of nature and things like that. Obviously, why Vivekananda? The Hindu idea has always been respecting nature. See, regular worship of tree, worship of rivers, these are all part of Hindu culture. So obviously, there is a great respect for nature, ecology, etc. But out of the commercial drive, greed for money, etc., people are giving up. So that is why, Father, my own thing is, we should all go back to our roots. Whether we are a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, we should go back to our own tradition, roots, how the founder fathers lived, how the rishis of the ancient time, thousands of years ago, how they lived, how Christ and his apostles, how they lived, how Prophet Muhammad and his close band, how they lived. We must revisit those times, again revive that ancient culture where there was no scope for disharmony, where people were more interested in deeper aspects of religious life, not just surface, going to a church or a mosque or a temple. No, that's something very external and just the barest minimum. We should go deeper. I don't know how far it's possible, but my own feeling is unless we culture that, unless you propagate that culture of going deeper to our roots and going back to the traditional foundations, we are going to have very hard times ahead. Because everything is connected to money. The wars happening all over the world, no religion is responsible for what is happening between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
They're all Christians.
Yes.
Why? Probably a few lakhs have already been killed. So it is not, religion has taken a back seat. Other economic considerations, oil, money, power, it's how wars are going on. So unless we emphasize all these foundational aspects, so for that the religious leaders have a great responsibility. They must work in unison, in harmony, without a sense of competition or one-upmanship. Probably we can, in our own small way, we can contribute. In only a very small, but it will be an important contribution.
Swamiji, according to you, what is the meaning and purpose of human development?
Yes, human life development all should ultimately lead to the ultimate goal of life, namely a transcendental realization of the truth. See, we may start wherever we are, but we should understand that our life development, everything, is to make us understand that we are not just limited to this body and mind. There is an existence beyond body and mind. To seek that, to work for that, and to do intense sadhana or spiritual practice for that, that's, according to me, is the goal of life. All else are secondary.
Swamiji, is patriotism and spirituality complementary or contradictory?
No, no. See, spirituality does not contradict anything. Everything is subsumed into spirituality. But the starting point is maybe patriotism. Patriotism, see, in one way, patriotism also talks about some kind of an alignment, oneness. We all unite in the name of motherland. So supposing you expand this unity, then we celebrate, we appreciate humanity oneness. Then you go beyond the borders of patriotism and embrace other countries also. See, your love of your country does not mean hating other countries. Patriotism can be positive, patriotism can be negative. Positive aspect is I love my country. Do everything to make my country and this countrymen happy, peaceful, successful. So in the process, as you evolve, you understand it's not only my country, other countrymen are also part of humanity. So you experience one kind of oneness. That is where spirituality comes in. Patriotism, when it's evolved, when it becomes more towards the transcendental aspect of life, that kind of coalesces into spirituality.
Swamiji, my last question. What is your message to those who pray and work for peace and harmony in all walks of life?
Yes, see, we need millions and millions of people to participate in such endeavors. It is not the work of one or two individuals. And we should all work together. Ultimately, whatever may be your religious belief or faith or whatever it is, at the end of the day, we all want peace and happiness. So that has to be ensured for every individual, every living being. So as all of us, the entire world should work towards such a world view and contribute in whatever way possible. So through religion, through other things, through secular activities, through philanthropy, through sharing and caring, in any way you can do it. But all that would get a greater meaning and purpose and stability and all that if you link it to a higher purpose of life. Otherwise, people might ask, why should I serve anybody? Why not I be selfish? Why not I cut the throat of another person and live? All that sanction is got from that highest idea. We are all one. We are all children of God. We are all that one consciousness. Somewhere if you search, all religions speak of that. So if that is taken as the mantra of life, probably all of us can work beautifully together without any problems. It's a beautiful, very beautiful initiative, very beautiful effort. We should all work together. So you can always count on us. We are for it. So let us put our shoulders together and take the movement forward. It's a beautiful and wonderful effort. I deeply appreciate. Now, appreciation is a very small word. We are thankful to you because you are trying to address a major problem confronting humanity. So all of us, so people should understand. You see, if there is total disharmony, I can't live peacefully and happily. Supposing there is total chaos, it will spill on to me. So ensuring a harmony and peace in the world is a collective responsibility of every citizen. No one can stay away from that. That way it's a beautiful thing.